Whoa. Togas are so difficult. Hello, YouTube? No, I am not going to a toga party. Thanks for asking, though. This video kicks off a 7-part series that's going to give you a basic understanding of the history of music. Just what you were looking for. Today, we are starting with ancient music, hence the toga. Ancient music covers the earliest written example of music we have, which is about 2750 BC, or for those who don't like math, almost 5,000 years ago, to 500 AD. So that's a pretty broad span of time. In the beginning. Up until the Middle Ages, with very few exceptions, there was no system for notating music in a way that we, today, can currently understand. We know music existed. We've got examples of bone flutes from Neolithic humans. I did a video that talks about it here. So we know it existed. People wrote about it, they wrote about what it sounded like, and they wrote about what it meant to them, but we can't actually recreate it. So we have no idea what it actually sounded like. Today we are going to start with the earliest example of notated music that we have found. This was discovered in Ur. Not like, oh my god, I forgot the name of the city, Ur. The name was actually Ur. U-R. It's in modern-day Iraq, but it used to be Mesopotamia. These fragments of music were written in 2750 BCE, which, as I mentioned before, is like almost 5,000 years ago, guys. That's pretty cool and crazy. Unfortunately, we can't read them or decipher them. We know it was written for harp, but we don't know how to actually play it. Life can be really, really hard. Luckily, though, 750 years later, also in Mesopotamia, but this time in a different city called Nippur, I guess they really liked cities with the sound "er" in their name. Cool. They discovered amongst some cuneiform fragments musical notation. These fragments tell us what the music sounded like. So we have information that their melodies were actually diatonic, which is what music of today is mostly in. It's scalar, which is really cool that it was the same system 4,000 years ago as it is today. Also, they talk about the harmony they used, which was mostly just parallel thirds, but hey, you know what? That is also still prevalent today. So, good job, Nippurians. A little bit to the east of Mesopotamia, in the Indian region, we also have some written examples of what music sounded like. A lot of the written history of music from the Indian region actually comes from the religious texts, especially the Samaveda. Actually, all the music that we've been listening to thus far in this video come from the Samaveda chants. Pretty cool, right? While it's been continuously performed since it was first written sometime between 200 BC and 200 AD, unfortunately, most of it is oral tradition, so we don't know how much it's changed since the original form. So let's discover the oldest notated musical piece. But Allison, what is the oldest notated full musical piece? That piece would be the Sekilos Epitaph. Sekilos Epitaph. This music was actually found on a tombstone in Turkey, written in ancient Greek musical notation. We're pretty sure it was written sometime between 200 BC and 100 AD. The words that are being sung loosely translate as, while you live, shine. Have no grief at all. Life exists only for a brief while, and time demands its toll. It's so beautiful. The Greeks and Romans also wrote a lot about music, and they also had a lot of music philosophy. The main consensus among Greeks and Romans is that music represented the orderliness of the cosmos. It was also associated with math and knowledge. In fact, music was a sign of education. Music also had a large place in everyday society in Greece and Rome. Music was also very commonly used to be the background track for gladiator fights. So if you didn't feel like watching people get slashed to death, you could listen to the pretty music. Actually, Nero, the crazy emperor who was eventually known for burning down Rome, was a very skilled amateur musician, and he's famous for touring all over Roman Greece, competing in musical competitions. As you can see, music was on a great trend. But then something happened. Oh my god, what happened? If you like this mini history video, be sure to subscribe and like below, and then leave me a comment to let me know what you think. I'll be putting up a new video to continue the sequence every Tuesday. Next video will be medieval music history, and I will try to get a cool costume for that, because I obviously tried really hard for this video with my bed sheets as a toga, because that's how I work. But anyway, if you want to see the next video, it is right here. Oh yes, look, it's so pretty. As they would say in ancient Sumerian, I have no idea what they would say in ancient Sumerian, but goodbye! Musicology.